Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, August 20, around 1 p.m. New York time. Guys, we're going to start with a weekly technical video day. Guys, let's start saying this. Even though this market is a totally mess when it comes to market correlation, after doing that day over the weekend, we draw the conclusion that things have changed a little bit. The meaning of that is that we have been used for years that when things get bad around the world, uh, the US dollar always gets strong. We don't see that that's the case right now, and we were trying to figure out what's gonna happen, and we're gonna keep, after doing that day, we're keeping the same bias. The US dollar is gonna get sold. The US dollar is nobody's buying the US dollar. That's the intention of the Federal Reserve of the United States, and we won't be buying dollars long time either. So technically, that's what we see. I mean, seeing how the charts are reacting to a lot of bad news, almost a 20% drops in the indices around the world, and the U.S. dollar is not reacting. I mean, this is oil chart on the weekly, and right here, if you guys see, it was a big decline, and if you take the dollar charge, it was the same decline. So, but that's not happening right now. Look how much oil has gone down, almost $30 or $40 in oil, and the US dollar hasn't go higher. So technically speaking, we draw the conclusion that that's what's taking place, that nobody's buying the dollars as they happen anymore. All right. So let's start with the video on the technical part. On the technical part, we see that oil, and this is on the weekly. This decline looks to be like a three-way decline, so this do not need to be in fives. We believe now that after seeing this decline and the corrective recovery here, we draw the conclusion that this is the top of the B wave, and we're going down on the C. So again, it's getting back to the dollar. When the oil goes down, usually the dollar goes down or goes higher. I'm sorry. It hasn't been the case that much. So technically speaking, we're gonna break that correlation, and we're gonna go like this. And let me get back. I mean, on oil, we're spreading a temporary low around the 70 area, around this support area of 64, 65 area before bouncing higher. That goes pretty well with the S&P that looks to be well correlated with oil. Now, if you take a look at oil on the 4-hour chart, from the top right here, which is the B wave, I'm sorry, it was an A right there. From the B wave right there, what we see in oil is what we can label as a corrected decline. When you have phi, a triangle B, a C, this is W, S, and then you got phi, and now it looks like we're gonna get another phi to around 65 area. That's what we see in oil. The most important part on it is for those clients that they love trading oil, is that right here oil did a clear 5-way move. So measures that you can take to the downside, guys, it comes around 63.71 in oil, or around 73.34, which is when I expecting the third way from here to end. So if we move on in oil to the 1-hour chart, we're gonna see that this is as clear as a 5-way declines that you can see. 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. This is 1, and then this is 2, and then I'm sorry, this is 1, and then we got 5 here. We got a B wave coming in tomorrow, and then a C higher, and then from there we should trade lower. Of course, when oil goes lower, the US dollar got a little bit, but it's not like it used to be. So we gotta still track a short time frames, but I know with the idea that we have it before. Now, getting back to the dollar trade, we keep the same bias. I mean, we're gonna keep repeating the same. The US dollar, we're bearish dollar. we believe that the dollar is gonna go lower, and we play in the scenarios like that we've been all week. There is nothing yet as a definition technical why we got a 1 2 3 4 5 that also can be a 3, and we got the 8 or the 2 here, and then we got what we got down here is another 3 ways. So technically speaking here, we can still see, like we did on the video on Thursday, we can still see a move to 75 or 76 area, and then still we can see a move to here, or still we can see another low coming in. I mean, so technically the dollar is a mess. Now going back on the dollar onto the 1 hour chart right there, this is what we see. We see a possible, I would say possible 5-way move here. I say possible because I didn't get the extension that I like on the 5th way, but I got the divergence on the high. And then I don't look into 5 ways on the dollar, because the idea is that this is a contra trend move, and then being a contra trend move, that means that do not have to be in 5 ways. Now from this secondary high right here, what we're expecting is either 1 2, but this is not a 3 in my opinion. This is more like a 3-way move from the top, corrective. So technically wise, I mean, that leave you with the idea that the dollar should trade a little bit higher this coming week. It should trade higher this coming week. That's what we believe right there, in the idea that the dollar, it can be counted as a 5 here, but this looks more like a 3-way move from here, which is 75.40 high. In other words, let me put the 4-hour chart again back to you guys. From this high 75.40, what I see is more like a 3-way move, like a nest. Of course it can be a nest, but this looks bullish right here. So technically speaking, still we can have, and it get back from the 618 like a euro did, which is 142.60 area. Now we can visit the 76.4 area right here around, we can visit right here the 74 area that comes around 74.68, and that's 142 on the euro. Keep that in mind. That's the scenario, the bullish scenario on the euro, the bearish scenario on the dollar. That is calling for a nest. Otherwise, we're gonna go higher in the dollar to around 76 area before going lower, guys. Another scenario is the triangle like Lewis presented, my friend Lewis presented, and then when we have we got WS, Y, and then from here we got the let me see the dollar how it is a triangle right here. That's the reason, which is W or A, B, and then the triangle comes in this area right here. Being this a triangle, that's what it means. When you got the 3 ways, and then the 3 ways are part of the triangle, and then you gotta, but at the end, guys, this is nothing but bullish on the dollar. I'm just trying to figure out the ways to locate the point, and that's the reason why we've been very, very quiet trade wise for the week, because this is very hard to trade. Look, it looks also as an invert here and shoulder here that is taking the measure. I don't know very good about it, testing around this high right here. Any of this high can be, I mean, but this looks like, I don't know. So like I say, is this move around the trend line, the 74.70 area, also can be possible, but conclusion that we draw is that nothing but bullish dollars on the long term. This is a bearish consolidation when the dollar at the end of the day is gonna go lower, because There is no structure that support a bullish dollar right there, guys. That's what we mean. That's what we mean. There is no structure that support a bullish dollar on the a bullish view on the dollar. Another scenario is that the triangle that goes WS, but then WS, and then this is the Y right here, and then we got another leg on the triangle with a thrust to the lower side. Anyway, wherever we look at it is a bullish consolidation, guys. No matter what it is, it's a bullish a bearish consolidation, and the dollar should trade lower. The bad thing is that do not give you any type of clue when the real bounce gonna happen. So best advice, trade the short time trend or trades, because the swing trades is very tricky. And with that in mind, getting back to the 1 hour, this is what we call a definition. What we call a decision moment right here. Why? Let me show you guys. Let me contract this a little bit here so you guys know what I mean. The move from the lows on the dollar, it looks corrective, which telling me and confirming that the trend is to the downside. You see the amplitude of the move in favor of the trend compares to this one, the magnitude, what I mean. Now, this move have the biggest correction in the middle. This looks like a three-way with another three-way. So what I'm expecting on Sunday, and let me get back to the real time here, 1 second. From the top here, I see three ways, but I'm waiting on Sunday to see if this low right here is taken. If this low is taken, because also can be a nest on the dollar. I want to see if this low is taken, which is gone. It's gone around 74.14 area. Why is that important? Because that's telling me that the dollar is gonna trade high. Now, the move from the recovery also looks corrective. It's a mess. I've been telling that word around lately, but it's a mess. Look, the move from the high and the RSI, 1, 2, 3 right here, 4, and a 5. But if you take an inside look, this is when it looks like the divergence comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So technically speaking, it looks like a three-way so far, or a nest, even though you got divergence in this low on the dollar. Now, I keep saying the trend is against the dollar, so 74.14 is this low, and it's also the 618 of the whole move. So with that in mind, I'm waiting for that area. Now I want to see 74.05 what it does, because I'm getting divergence in this high right here already, and it looks like a three-way high. So like I said, guys, very hard to trade the dollar, very hard. Now let's move on to the euro for a while. Okay, guys, on the individual pairs, we're gonna go pretty fast anyway. We're gonna have a seminar tomorrow. This is the euro dollar in the 4 hour. Still, we're playing the same scenarios as a dollar, when even this is the end of the correction, or is right here with the triangle way Z, and then we go 1, 2, 1, 2, and like I said the other day, 142 is tradable. It can be a heck of a buy. Now I want to point it out that this can be also the end of the wave 2, being that the 618 like it is on the dollar. And on Sunday we need to wait and see what the euro does. If it open with a new high here and then the three backs are a buy, if it's no, we're gonna wait for 142 to buy the dollar right there, the euro against the dollar. Again, it's a mess, but meaning the mess mean that the euro is gonna trade minimum 147 or higher before going lower. That's what our bias is gonna stay the same with the euro, higher, guys. Now on the euro, on the 1 hour, same scenario as the dollar, guys. No different at all. What we got 5 ways or 5 swings from the high, but it looks corrective also. I mean, even though if you put the RSI, we got divergence on the lows. I would say this: the best scenario is that the euro trade lower on Sunday against this high, and you move about 145, 144.52. That's gonna mean that two scenarios. The first one, that this was a 3 ways and this is a flat. Second scenario, that this is all we're gonna get in wave 2, and the euro is gonna start trading higher. That's the two scenarios. The third scenario is that it trade from 144.20 area and drop. Now going around the market, I want to point out something to you guys. It's on cable. We playing cable right here with a little bit of 2 eyes, if we can say that. The first one is this one. Let's count the swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 swing. Now what happened is that this swing was a 3-way. Being a 3-way, it took me back to the idea that this is the 12th, the 11, the 12th, and we need the 13. Now there is a case when this can be a triangle here, and then if that's the case, when you got A, B, C, D, E, and trust for the triangle, if that's the case, and then cable can be done, and we're gonna trade lower in C with the euro. But something that cable is telling me from the high is that that's a 5-way move so far, or it looks like a 5. It looks impulsive. So we need to weigh in cable for the 3 bags before taking decision, because it can be the flat, or it can be only A of the preview, A of the next decline that's gonna take cable to 162. All right, keep that in mind in cable. Only the triangle play good, but when you take a look guys, on the short time frame, the triangle doesn't look that good. You got A, B, and C. This is 3-way, a 3-way. You got another here, but this low broke the previous low, and then from here what you got is 1, 2, 3-way onto here. So it's not a triangle. So technically it goes like a B, and a C way, 3-way. So the flat, it can be the case. A buy in cable around 164 can become a nice buy, and that brought the correlation with the euro. So maybe on euro we need to wait and see what it really is doing. Now another pair that is the only pair that is clear to me, to be honest with you guys, is the dollar CAD, which I like it to the long side. Now questions: is this all we're gonna get in E? If that's the case, and then we're gonna get a retracement on the dollar on Sunday and going higher in favor of the dollar, like we were presenting in euro case, also in cable. If no, and then we're gonna see lower in E to trace the trend line against 97.80, 98 again before going higher. The good news in CAD is that it looks like it's doing a 5-way move in the short time frame, like right here, when you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that's the case. Looks like this is the end, and we need to buy the dollar CAD right here. Now another pairs around the market is the S&P. The S&P looks like it's ending a 5-way move down here around the 1100, maybe from current levels. That's telling me that risk is gonna trade higher. And that's why the cable and the S&P can be the hint that telling me that risk is gonna continue to go higher. And we have an alternative count also in dollar on the, that is the, remember, the ending diagonal on the dollar. So keep that in mind, guys, because the market still do not show a gray sink. The S&P is telling me that the dollar is gonna trade lower if you correlate, and risk is gonna trade higher, because I see 5 ways coming to the end in the S&P. Now the Aussie, which is correlating pretty well with the S&P, it went lower in 3 ways. Maybe if it's a flat, get back in 3. If it's not a flat, then this becomes with a lot of effort. Why? Because if it's not a flat, then this low right here was very marginal. Now Aussie can be either nesting right here or gonna trade a little bit lower, and then this can be the risk of wave 2 in the S&P. We don't know, but at this time it's not good to, I believe it's too late to say the Aussie. The trade was right here around the area, but very iffy the Aussie also. Everything have a lot of question mark, guys. That's all I can tell you. Now the New Zealand, look, New Zealand is more clear in my opinion, because I see a clear 5 here, and then I see a move back, and now I see this move lower in New Zealand that is showing divergence on the RSI. That's telling me that most likely this is proving that risk is gonna be on Monday, most likely, and this is proving that Aussie can be doing a trap or a B way before going higher again. That's what the New Zealand is telling me, because I mean I would say that New Zealand is pretty close to the lows that comes around 80.61, no, 120 pips. A print below that low, it can be a bullish event, because technically you got an ABC from the top, that's what I'm expecting, and that's telling me that most likely also the dollar is gonna fall, and the euro is gonna start going higher, and Aussie is gonna go to 108 or even higher. I mean, again, guys, very questionable to market, very questionable. The only pair for me that is very clear is the dollar CAD. I have to repeat that a bunch of times, because that's the truth. That's the only pair that I would feel comfortable to get a swing trade at this moment, nothing else, to be honest with you. I said the other day that Aussie can be on the trap, and I said right now you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. A print about this high, guys, is gonna be a bullish event, because a print about that high is what I call a leading diagonal in Aussie, and you gotta be careful with it. You gotta be careful with it, because Aussie can be nesting, or Aussie can be in a leading diagonal that's gonna print right there and going back. So still, guy, I don't feel comfortable as of right now to take swing trades, because the market is not clear. When the trend is changing, always something like this happen. We're calling the top in Aussie, but we still have the flat. So we want to see more data before taking a final decision on the Aussie, guys. Okay, guys, so let's leave it there. I'm gonna cover more on the seminar tomorrow and get back to you guys tomorrow. Thank you.